So in today's video I'm going to be covering my build for the 3 Blind Mice Apocalyptic Bus Challenge. I started with a Corgi Bedford bus, which you can see here. This is a little worse than where it's missing its headlights and a part of its front bumper. But I think it'll work pretty well for what I need it for. For this build I took inspiration from a meme. So here's the meme. It should read something: I have a friend in Chicago who says it's not as violent as people say, yet he's a tail gunner on a school bus. So that was kind of the idea of like a tail gun on the back of a school bus. So here's the model disassembled like I usually do. This just shows you the parts that I had to work with. And here's the build. Originally I was going to have the AA gun as a tail gun, but then I thought it would make more sense if it had a complete 360 range of view, so it could fire in any direction. As well as obviously I've put a souped up engine in there so it can kind of keep up with some of the sportier cars, because obviously this being a bus it's not going to go that fast, and the idea of it trying to pull in front of some vehicles to shoot at them with just weapons from behind, it just didn't make no sense. So it was a bit more sense to make it like a gun truck and just have the weapon on the back and it can fire in any direction. So starting with the front, I used a North Star Military Figures RAM from the Implements of Carnage sprue. I also added some scratch built headlights, which are made from styrene tubing at different sizes and different shapes. Just the idea of like they just found random fog lights and just attached them, because obviously you use what you can get in the apocalypse. The engine is made up of several 3D printed parts. We've got the engine block, which is from the Autokill engine sprue, the supercharger, which is from Chemsel Designs engines. The exhaust and air scoop are also from the North Star Military Figures Implements of Carnage sprue. I added a few more of the scratch built fog lamps. So I added a few more of the scratch built lights to the roof just to kind of give it some more lights. Originally I did intend to keep the original wheels on this, but in the end I switched them for some Chemsel Design wheels. These are regular size. These are regular 40mm fatties, tyre design 3, rim design 10. I also made a new axle out of styrene tubing, just so they could use these wheels. So the AA gun is from a artillery German World War II kit. I'll show you the kit here. It comes with several different guns, but I've just used the AA flat gun. I added an extra light to this just as a searchlight sort of thing. Unfortunately I had already used the German that mans this gun in a previous build, so I had to use one of the 172 skill German drivers that I had, which I'd bought a bunch from eBay. I ended up completely remodeling the seats and just taking all of the seats out of this. Originally I was going to keep a few and add a few more crew, but it just made more sense to add more stowage in there for like ammo crates for the gun. I did think about adding a loader figure as well as the driver, but in the end I decided it would interfere with the gun being able to completely 360 rotate, so I did the driver and the gunner. The crates on the back are Redog 172 resin storage crates. There's sort of crates and bags. I bought a couple of different sets and just mixed and matched and shot them in there. I've also added the fuel tank from a previous Bone Shaker build. So the driver is again from the North Star Military Figures Implements of Carnage sprue. I've used this sprue a lot recently on a lot of builds, and I definitely would recommend picking it up because it just comes with so many parts and so many drivers. Definitely need to pick up another one as soon as I start running out of parts, but as clearly as you can tell, I've yet to run out of parts from using that sprue, so it's definitely a good one to get. I think it was 10, maybe £15, which would probably be $10–15 for the US. But yeah, definitely well worth to buy that. Unfortunately, the figure didn't quite fit in the driver's seat, so I had to hack him up a bit to get him to fit in there. Hence why I've put some shoulder pads on him, just kind of covers up how I hacked up his arms just to fit him in there. And here we are with the final build, all nicely painted up. So I went with a traditional two-tone black and yellow school bus paint job, just because I looked at a few buses of this period and they just all seem to be black and yellow, so I figured I might as well paint mine black and yellow. I was thinking of adding a Skull Bus logo to the side, but every time I looked at Skull Buses, I couldn't find any, apart from like the toy ones that had Skull Bus written on the side. It was usually the skull, or they were just blank, so I just didn't bother on mine. Couldn't resist adding some teeth to the plough on the front, just because I think it looked cool. And for this build, I actually mixed up my own black wash, which was just bits and pieces of I left over, and it turned out really quite well, I think. Really looks very worn, rusty. I didn't even need to add any rust to it, because I was just experimenting, and it turned out phenomenal. So I'm very happy with that, and going to be quite upset when I run out of that, because I don't know what I need to put. It's going to be pretty hard to mix back up that same mix. So yeah. So overall, I found the build was very fun. Looking forward to using this in a Gaslands animation or two. As usual, there'll be a nice little slideshow of the glamour shots at the end. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.